All right, good evening. We'll call the meeting to order, please, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome, everyone. Roll call, Mr. Lundberg.
Well, Ullum.
Yes.
Odie. Yes. Saxer.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
All right, before we get started, I understand that there's a special person in the audience who's celebrating a 5th birthday today. So we'll wish Mr. Brooks a happy 5th birthday. We would sing, but we're not near as good as the high school kids, so you don't want to hear us. So, all right, with that, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda, please.
So moved.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Conflict of interest disclosure waiver requests. I don't believe there are any this evening. That takes us to our next item, approval of the minutes from March 10th and March 24th. I would entertain a motion to approve those, please.
So move.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Community input. I don't believe we have any this evening, so we will move along to the financial items. Bills and claims, Mr. Lundberg.
Okay. Had a couple noted for your review. On page 1, Architecture Incorporated, the middle school edition architect fees. The interim that we haven't issued those bonds, those capital outlay certificates for that, so the interim capital outlay fund is cash flowing those expenses. And I think I had on page 8. Mid-States Audio, I listed as high school common video wall equipment. This is something the Booster Club is paying for, just running it through us. It's a 50% down payment on a video board in the commons. I call it the $200,000 TV. Page 9, Berkman Elementary. Payment number 7, 1.2 million. Total to date is 6.5 million, paid to Pesca Construction. Page 10, Sioux Falls School District, NSP revenue sharing. That's the revenue sharing agreement that we have on the Lawrence plant site out on the NSP property. And a total of $2,118,063.33. $9,726 of advance payments and $100,934.78 of pay vouchers, $199,393 of food service bills.
Thank you. Any questions on the bills and claims this evening? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve them as presented, please.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Financial report, Mr. Lundberg.
Okay, the cash report for the month of March, $32.6 million coming into the month, $3.6 million of receipts, and $5,782,000 of disbursements, left $30,457,529 of cash at the end of the month. $7.8 million was in the general fund, $2.7 million in the capital outlay fund, $162,000 in the bond redemption fund, $78,000 in the enterprise fund, and $19.6 million in our projects fund. I would note right in the middle of the cash report, there's a transfer from general fund to special education fund. To cash flow that's a reflection of what we've been talking about, fund balance depleting in there. $3.6 million is itemized on the next 2 pages. investment report of $27.2 million at South Dakota Fit and First National Bank. Payroll for the month of March was $2,815,271. Financial reports, first two pages are the revenue reports. I don't have any additional items to talk about on the revenue side. On the expenditure side, they were 75% through the fiscal year through March. The general fund is at 73.35% currently. It would extrapolate or project out to about 99% of budget at the end of the year. Capital outlay fund is at 73% expended. When we make that transfer to the general fund, that'll pretty much be 100% expended then. Special education fund is at 70.5%. We're still running under budget, but bills are late to come in and stuff. I project that at probably 98% of budget at year end, 10.7 million, 10.8 million. The debt service fund has one more interest payment of $97,842. The project financial statement is for your review. Food service shows a net loss of $260,000 versus the budget of a projected loss of $299,000. And then the trust and agency statement has $264,511 of amounts held for others.
Any questions this evening for Mr. Lundberg on the financial report? All right, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve it as presented, please.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lundberg. That takes us to general business items under administration reports, Administrative Center Superintendent Larson.
Madam Chair, just a couple of items to update the board on here this evening. One item I guess I would speak to is Berkman Valley Elementary School. Progress continues. All of the exterior foundations have been completed, so we are now moving into interior foundation work. Masons continue to move along. I would note that the community room is nearly entirely enclosed, and you can really see that start to take shape. HVAC, plumbing, electrical, all of those items continue to progress as well, so schedule remains on track. We have a June 2026 project completion date, so we will be open for the fall of 2026 out at Berkman Valley Elementary. Sunshine Avenue construction, I guess I would note that I believe that that's also on your agenda here in terms of approval and notice to proceed. So we'll be working with the contractor to complete that in a timely manner as well. I believe that will happen in coordination very likely with other paving that occurs at that respective elementary site. Brandon Valley Middle School addition. At our last meeting, we awarded the bid to Visions Construction, the low bidder. Contract work is in progress. Would note that we have a pre-construction meeting here this week, and then once we have an opportunity to connect with the contractor and outline what their general approach and or strategy will be, then we'll communicate back to our middle school families. We will also be utilizing a middle school construction website, just like we are with the Berkman Valley website, for updated photos, floor plans, those types of things. So as soon as we get the pre-construction and coordination meeting done and some of those respective timelines finalized, we will be communicating that information to our middle school families. I would anticipate that late April, early May is when folks will begin to see the transition begin in terms of mobilization. That project is also scheduled to be completed in the fall of 2026. Budget process continues. Would note that you'll get a preliminary budget presentation in May, and then we will hold our annual public budget hearing in July. and seek potential action. Impactful road construction projects. It's safe to say that in the Brandon Valley School District, we are in road construction season. Yeah, thank you. I was thinking of a different word, but we're going to go with season. What I would note is that the Veterans Parkway, Arrowhead Parkway intersection is clearly closed and causing some delays and some unintended consequences associated with traffic patterns and those things. We just really appreciate everyone's patience and understanding as transportation works through all of those respective things, because we also have a lot of pop-up road construction things where they do a little thing here, a little thing there, and it can impact travel. So appreciate everyone's patience and understanding. The Highway 42 bridge, we were informed that that is delayed. Timeline is to be determined. One item that I would note is that if everything went exactly like they hoped and planned, they would look to bid that project in October, and we could see that closure occur February, March-ish. But that is really an unknown as they're waiting for some things associated with the federal government to come through and be approved and whatnot. So when I was speaking to the Inspiration Elementary PTA here a week or two ago, at this point in time, we are not altering any boundary for them. However, if that all comes about, we will give families the ability to transition to Brandon, either Brandon Elementary or Robert Bennis Elementary, to avoid that east-west Highway 42 closure at semester. No matter what, we'll be able to get all the way through semester one without having that impact based on the information we have. And it's just a big question mark on whether or not we will be dealing with that closure at this point in time. So to be determined on that one. Please mark your calendar for the Brandon Valley School District Employee Recognition Banquet. That will be held Tuesday, May 6th at 6 p.m. in the Brandon Valley High School Commons. Negotiations timeline and wage recommendation continues to progress. Tonight we will ratify our master contract. We've brought forward classified wage recommendation. We will work through the superintendent evaluation, and then at our next meeting, we will approve administrative salary recommendations and superintendent contract negotiations. Academic calendar items to note. This week is our week of spring break. Thursday, we have a 2-hour dismissal. There is no school on Friday, no school on Monday, April 21st. The Brandon Valley High School graduation ceremony will be held on May 11th, and May 22nd is our last day for students. Madam Chair, with that, would certainly entertain any questions that you have.
Any questions for Superintendent Larson this evening? Okay.
Madam Chair, the last item that I would note, and it got away from me because it wasn't on my original report, just have the draft elementary boundaries for the fall of 2026 when Berkman Valley Elementary opens. You can see it's pretty straightforward in terms of the way in which we are operating in terms of that respective boundary. Has been a point of discussion for a number of years, and is kind of pretty straightforward decision. So just want to put that out there. We do receive questions sometimes from real estate agents and or patrons asking about, where will this be or where will that be? I just wanted to put this in front of the Board of Education so that we can now reference something that has been in front of you. We'll bring it for formal adoption here in the coming months, but just mostly wanted to get it on the books as the draft. If there are any screaming oppositions, we can work through those as we go. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Lundberg, anything additional this evening? All right, high school? Middle school, anything? No? Intermediate school? Special services? Elementaries? No takers? Mrs. Nelson, anything? Mr. Henschel? All right, Mr. Frecking? Okay. That was your chance. All right. No board policy, so that takes us to our general business items. Item number 1, ratify the 2025-2026 master agreement between the Brandon Valley School District and the Brandon Valley Education Association.
Madam Chair, would certainly like to thank the Brandon Valley Education Association and their leadership for the quality relationship that we have when working through negotiations. 2.5% increase plus an increase to the salary enhancement, equating to a 3% wage increase or salary increase overall for teachers. Additionally, in addition, the health insurance deductible and max out-of-pocket also were brought down just a bit. So certainly appreciate their work through the process. Would leave it to you if you have anything to add, but recommend approval.
It was another good experience. That's all I have to add. Any questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to ratify our 2025-2026 master contract between Brandon Valley School District and the BVEA as presented, please.
So moved.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 2, approve the wage recommendation for classified staff for the 2025-2026 school year.
Madam Chair, would just note that we are bringing forward a 2.5% wage increase for classified staff, just as an alignment to the master contract ratification. And then in addition to that, would note that the one-time salary enhancements paid in November have also been increased proportionally for classified staff. And then the other item that I would note is that we have brought forth the recommendation of adding President's Day as a paid holiday for our classified staff. Mr. Lundberg, anything to add?
Any questions on that item? I would entertain a motion to approve the wage recommendation for classified staff for 2025-2026 school year.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Under consent, I would entertain a motion to approve items 3 through 5, please.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Personnel, I would entertain a motion to approve items 1 through 21, please.
So moved.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Items 22 to 27 are information only. Under communication, central office, there's some building permit applications if you choose to look at those. Board of Education, there's a thank you note from Terry Bastian and her family. Otherwise, that takes us to board reports. Does anyone have a formal board report they would like to bring tonight?
This week in Sioux Falls was the ASBSD spring meeting for roughly a day and a half, 2 days. Really went over a lot about what happened in this last legislative session, which is one of the most intense sessions that public education has faced in a long time, if not ever. And we don't see like next year's going to get any easier. Some of that momentum is going to continue. So I say that to say we need to get out and vote. Our numbers make up a huge portion if we get out and we vote for the right people in the right seats, because that will really help us out as we go forward. Some of the other main topics that came up really focused a lot on mental and behavioral health for staff and students. I think there was a lot of good sharing around the table, what we do for students, but maybe need to up our game and how we focus on staff throughout the state. It was alarming to see some of the statistics that South Dakota leads the nation in suicides in young adults right now. So that's not something we want to tote, so we need to figure out how to do something about it. The other thing is we did see that the legislation added some money to the special education equation. It's not enough, but it's a start, and we'll continue to have those conversations going forward. So those are just kind of the overview on top of a lot of the districts sharing how their negotiations went or are going. Many of them are taking 2 to 3 days. this year around for various reasons. So just so incredibly proud every time I get to be able to those meetings and get all the accolades and want to know why we lead and continue to lead. It has nothing to do with me. It's really all of you out there and all of our students, our community. So just an incredible experience, and just wanted to share where we're at.
I also have an update. The student activities, curriculum, and technology meeting met last Thursday. In that, we talked about a lot of different things. First of all, the assessments are in full swing, even when there's some issues going on. We're working through all those, and I really appreciate all the staff's work. So at trying to get those things done, the students are in high morale, taking those tests. I know at home we've been making special lunches for our kids, and so just thanks to all teachers and all the staff for getting those done. And those are so important to keep track of where we're at today, and also show the results of the students. We also then talked about SPED numbers, and again, those continue to be, we get more and more intense kids, and so it's good that we get some more money from the state, but again, it's not enough, but we're doing a fantastic job with what we have. And the last thing we talked about is the science curriculum adoption, which will come up in the next meeting or next couple meetings for more full adoption and more full explanation, but great job to the curriculum team for going through that, and again, picking great resources for all the teachers and students to have over the next couple of years. So thanks for all the work. Anything else? Thank you.
And I'll just, apart from a report, I just wanted to say a sincere thank you without trying to get too emotional. I should have wrote it down, did a thank you note like everybody else does, but I just wanted to say thank you to the board here and all of the staff and administrators that have surrounded Braxton over the last several months. Everything, I cannot even express my gratitude. And I mean, I knew our district is great, I knew that, but the level of support, the care, the prayers have just been something I can't put words to, so thank you. On a positive note, Braxton was back in school today. He did more than one class, and that's been a couple months, so just so thankful. So thank you for all your support.
And I'll just touch up on transportation. Next Tuesday is considered School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. So if you see a bus driver on Tuesday, just give them a pat on the back, or her, or a shake a hand and say thanks for your services, because it's greatly appreciated, because those people are the first ones that represent this district in the morning and the last ones that represent these kids at night. So hats off to the bus drivers and everybody that messes around with transportation.
Oh, thank you. Does that cover everybody? All right. With that, looks like that takes us into our next item. We need to enter into executive session per South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2.1 to conduct superintendent's evaluation. I would entertain a motion into executive session.
So moved.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Aye. All right. So we will say goodbye to everybody else.